you're watching Pixel 3D, the show about audio, video, and 3D printing. I'm your host, Ekin, and today we're going to show you how to create a 3D printed stamp.
Out of the extruders come heavy strands of plastic, which cooled in water and drawn out, become thinner and thinner.
When designing your stamp, you need to make sure the size is going to fit standard ink pads. After you make a few measurements, you can start designing your artwork. I like to use Adobe's Illustrator to make the paths and then import them into Maya. Once you have your artwork in your 3D modeling app, you'll need to create a cube and hollow it out to create a shell. Now with your artwork as a separate object, you need to create a difference boolean so that the cube has your artwork cut into the bottom, like this. You want to make sure that you have at least 2 millimeters of height so that the edges don't touch the ink pad. Next, we need to create a lid that we'll use to press down the putty into the casting. Make sure your lid is slightly smaller than the casting so it can squeeze out the excess putty material. This lid can be thin, so 1 millimeter will do just fine. Okay, now it's time to export your objects as STL files and slice them using Replicator G. As for the slice settings, we're going to use SkinForge, 27 for the layer height, 60 and 50 for travel rates, 20% infill, and we'll do 240 for the extruder. We're using accelerated settings, so we're going to export in X3G. Okay, now it's time to print. Once your stamp cast is finished printing and cooling down, make sure the lid loosely fits into the casting. If you're not happy with the quality of your artwork, you can always try to thicken up the paths or tone down the details. To create the stamp, I'm using mold putty that I picked up from our local arts and crafts store. It's a 2-part compound that air dries and also works for wax, clay, resin, and even food. It has a work time of 2 to 3 minutes and it curates in under 20 minutes, so it's pretty quick. You're going to want to experiment on how much putty material your stamp is going to need. I used about 6 grams of material for our stamp. The best part about 3D printing castings for stamps instead of hand carving them is that you can make as many molds as you want from just one cast.
Alright, and there you have it. That's 3D printing a stamp. If you've created a stamp using 3D printing, why not let us know in the comments below? We definitely want to see what you guys are working on. Now before we go, definitely check us out on Etsy. You can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.